they don't know, they can use Google JARONA, right? Or what is JARONA Deltaron? So easy. If they think it's a backward, they can check. Assuming is very dangerous to do. Never assume. You can guess, but try to confirm. Check. Never assume. Otherwise, you judge a book by its cover. That leads to consequences. For example, a seemingly homeless man actually being rich, and it was just a test. Sure, maybe more people will be nicer to the homeless in the hopes that it's just a test. Good things done for selfish reasons. Good things are still done. As long as it's not taken away right after, it's still important to inspire others to do good things. Sure, it's better if it's done of goodness of the hearts, but humanity is a duality of selfish and selfishness. Technically, babies are selfish, but the valid excuse is that they have to be to survive. With this in mind, our selfishness may relate to our emotions and our self-preservation stuff from evolution. In other words, leftovers that get in the way today, stuff we are working on today. There was a test done on some apes before, and they were selfish. Compare that to the test done with bears, and the bears actually were shedding like they didn't to, but they did. For some reason, apes are more selfish with a sentence from apes. Nobody is perfect, but a few things make more sense now. Also, in a test done between autistics and neurotypicals, when asked if they do something immoral, if nobody will find out, the autistics say no. But a lot of neurotypicals, aka normal people, say yes. What was the resulting conclusion? Autistics are too morally rigid. Who's being more honest about things? There's a lot of people who run the world who have the mindset of yes, I do it if nobody found out, or I'll make the torture device because I won't make the same mistakes the guy in the dystopian movie did. In other words, arrogance and ego. Yes, we have pride, but look, it is important too, along with empathy. Unfortunately, the world doesn't promote empathy anymore. They keep tearing people apart, making everybody fight each other. Groups of people are pit against each other. But anyway, I rambled. This is not what you're here for today. But yeah, judging a book by its cover is very dangerous. This is also important because if you assume, yes, I can take him, then you risk being beaten up. If you think you can take on the guy based on only confidence and no actual logic-based plan, along with any backup plan, then you're going to fail. You also don't assume that shady-looking people or weird people are bad. Some of them are actually quite nice. For example, most of the weird-looking people your parents might say to avoid because they take drugs or something. Again, this is prejudice. Yes, stereotypes come from somewhere, but not everyone is like that. Judge someone based on their actions, not based on their looks. Sure, you're free to be cautious, but one should not assume. Another problem is innocent before proven guilty has been flipped. Nowadays, people have to be proven to be innocent. When people make allegations and accusations, people have had their lives drained based on unproven accusations with no concrete evidence. So again, don't assume, you can guess, but check, do research, investigate, confirm. Of course, Confirmation bias is another thing to mention. It is very easy to just look at stuff that you agree with and use that without looking for stuff that negates such. It is important to check both sides of the argument. I don't engage in an internet drama usually because it's usually just meaningless. If there's a YouTuber I see who was accused of something, it's important that I check both sides. If there's some drama going on and I am curious, I might ask both sides. I don't know if I ever get involved. I have never really had to. Most dramas that have existed near me ended before I noticed. There's one survey that by the time I got the line, it already ended. As for another that a friend of mine went through, there was much I could do, so I didn't really do much into that myself. Instead, I just made sure my friend was okay. Since it was between two friends, I asked both sides. Plus, it turned out that not much had actually happened, but because bystanders recorded it, it looked worse. I know both people, neither will hurt the other, yet one is accused and based on no actual evidence. Then there's a random drama I found about a friend of a friend who was cancelled because their boyfriend was a supporter of right-wing party in America. Like, they weren't even described to be extreme. They just were more relaxed, yet were treated like an extreme supporter. Second, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't assume.